Praise the Lord and good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So happy, so excited, so ecstatic, so elated to have this wonderful opportunity to lead you today in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Hey, this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural, normal, and necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is indeed a good thing. And I'm glad that you're here with us on this morning as we lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 29. This message is right on time. We're going to talk about the stillness of sorrow. The stillness of sorrow. Let's talk about it, y'all. Grief can feel like an unending storm. Can feel like an unending storm. How many of you have felt that, or you have experienced your grief feeling like an unending storm, right? You ever experienced a storm that seemed like it wasn't going to end? It just kept raining, it kept raining, it kept thundering, it kept lightning, it just kept coming down, kept coming down. An unending storm. And grief can feel like that, right? And so, but in every storm, what you got to know and understand is that there are moments of stillness. That in every storm, y'all, there are moments of stillness. These moments, though brief, are opportunities to breathe, to reflect, and to gather strength. In every storm, there are moments of stillness. Thunder, lightning, rain, and sometimes the rain dies down a little bit. You may hear just a little thunder. The lightning goes away, right? It's a moment, right? It's a moment of stillness. Now it might start back up again. It's gonna rev back up again. It's gonna start pouring in just a minute. The thunder gonna start clapping in just a minute. But in every storm, there are moments where things die down a little bit. There are moments of stillness. And I love it because the devotion says these are moments, opportunities to what? To breathe, to reflect, and to gather strength. To breathe, to reflect, and to gather strength. And even as you navigate through your grief journey, there are moments where things are raging, where the grief is on 10, right? Where the tears like rain are falling, where lightning and thunder and everything around you is clashing and dashing and this, that, and the other. But you find yourself in times where things start to die down a little bit, right? And understand, because it is a grief journey, oh, it's going to pick back up. These ain't the last tears you're going to cry. This ain't the last chaotic moment. It's going to die down. But when it does die down, right, this is a moment to breathe. This is a moment to reflect. This is a moment to gather strength. Embrace the stillness. It's a moment, but embrace it. Even if it feels unfamiliar, embrace the stillness. Embrace the stillness. For some reason, I'm thinking about, and I played football too, but years ago. But I'm a chaplain at a school, and so oftentimes they go through practices, workouts, they do all of these things, and it's intense. And there's moments where they're running back and forth on the field. They got to go from the end zone to the 10. They doing all this running. Yeah, they doing all this running, and then they may stop. They may pause. And they may get a minute to breathe, right? 30 seconds to breathe, a minute to breathe. And it's going to start back up. You're going to start running again. And it's going to get hot again. And you're going to start putting your body through all of this stuff again. But you're gonna get this 30 seconds, you're gonna get this 60 seconds of rest, right? And it's like when you get that moment, oh, embrace it. they relish it. They love it. They look forward to it. They wish it would never end, right? But they embrace it. They embrace a time of refreshing. They embrace the pause that they get. They embrace it with every ounce of strength that they have because they know things are about to rev up. So when it comes to you as you navigate through your grief journey, y'all, there will be moments of stillness. And what you got to do is you got to embrace it. Embrace the stillness, even if it feels unfamiliar. It's in these quiet spaces that healing often begins. Let the stillness remind you that sorrow doesn't have to consume you. Peace can exist alongside the pain. Embrace the moments of stillness, y'all. It's times of reflection. It's time to gather strength, right? And it's also time to breathe, reflect, and it's a time to gather strength. So embrace these moments of stillness as we get them. Here it is. Here's your point of application. Find 5 minutes of stillness today. Sit in a quiet place. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Let the stillness be a sanctuary for your soul. 5 minutes of stillness today. Sit in a quiet place. Close your eyes. Focus on your breath. Let the stillness be a sanctuary for your soul. I told you this before. We did a retreat. I did a retreat with my class, and the retreat was about stillness, silence, and solitude. And we practiced those three things. Stillness, you detach from busyness, right? So that you can be still and hear from God. Silence, you detach yourself from the noise so you can hear from God. Solitude, you detach yourself from people so that you can get in fellowship with God. And when I tell you that was like one of the most powerful retreats, probably the most powerful retreat I've ever been on. And the stillness was so important because we're so used to being busy. We're so used to not being still. We had to turn in our phones. We had to, where there was no TVs in our rooms, we had to turn in our electronic devices so that nothing could distract us. We wouldn't be busy scrolling and doing all of these things. That we literally had to get to a place where we sat still. We sat still and we had time to breathe. We had time to reflect. We had time to gather strength. And it was super duper powerful, y'all. Embrace those times. Embrace those moments. Reflect, right? Reflection is so important. You don't always have to have a TV on. You don't always have to have a gadget in your hand. You don't always have to be doing something, right? That there's so much healing power in just being still and just breathing and just reflecting. Oftentimes, y'all, I love to do this when it's warm on my porch. My porch is one of my sanctuaries, right? I love my porch. I got lights and all this stuff out there. And so like when it's nighttime and it's got different settings, we can lights and candles, all of these things out there. Um, chairs, rocking chairs, right? And that's a place of stillness. That's a place of calm. That's a place where we go to and hear the wind blow or watch the trees sway and just be quiet. Just be silent. We ain't gotta say nothing. It's the stillness in those moments that we breathe. It's the stillness in those moments that we begin to reflect. It's the stillness that takes place in those moments that helps us to gather strength, right? And so one of the most powerful things you can do is practice stillness, right? On this grief journey, practice stillness. Practice it today. Take 5 minutes, right? To breathe. What did it say? Take 5 minutes, sit in a quiet place, close your eyes, focus on your breath. Let the stillness be a sanctuary for your soul. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 29. I told y'all this message is going to be right on time. The stillness of sorrow. Hey, I hope and pray this lesson was a blessing to each and every one of you. I hope and pray that you put it into practice, right? It's not just information. Make sure you got some application that will lead to your transformation. Nikisha says, yes, I've grown to love the stillness. It is so good, so powerful, and so healthy, right? That you got to put it into practice. And so I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place. Let's go.